For those of you that missed week 8's lecture, that's just a quick recap of some of the important things that were discussed, but it's not covering everything as it was a 4-hour time period. So if I go to Moodle, in Moodle we'll find a document, and it's itemized here, which is a spreadsheet. Already have it open, and it's the naming format which we discussed in week 6. So it's a location, level, type, material, subtype, and differentiator. So location could be things like substructure, it's like foundations, superstructure, internal wall finish, internal floor finish, plasterboard finish, doors, so forth. Level could be ground floor, first floor, mezzanine from the ground floor, or ZZ meaning multiple levels, XX no level applicable, or level 0 at base level. Type would be things like wall, floor, windows, foundation, door internal, door external, and so forth. Materials, there's a list of materials added in, and subtypes listed in. The idea is that everybody has to contribute to at least one item for each of those categories, and you put your author's initials. So I put my initials against, well, AL against quite a few of these. And then the reason why that's so important that we have a naming structure and use that naming structure consistently, not just within the BIM model itself, but also within the BIM external BIM data. For example, costings. We can see here we have timber internal doors. There's a particular size, 826 by 2040 by 40 mil thick. Particular door there. This information, the price rate there is £153.75, authors myself, and it came from page 450 of the Spons book. And you'll also see I've got other information that I've authored in there where I've not put the page number or where it actually came from. These are numbers I just happen to know, but what I'm overall saying here is that the data set is important and how we name the data set is important, but at the moment the pricing and where the pricing comes from is not overly as important, but it is important to be aware that things like Spons Architectural and Builders Pricing Book does exist, and you should have the ability to access that. I've given you a link within that in Moodle as well, in ebooks, so you'll have it there. So, in SketchUp, we are going to do a very quick demo, very similar to my previous videos that you've already seen, but this time we'll be using the IFC formatting. To start off with, we have a look at this tag here, classifier. If you don't have classifier open, if you right click within the ribbon and you go to classifier, you can then dock it, and we'll then say import classifications, import, and we're going to pick IFC4, which is the current version. That's now imported. We can close that. Perfect. Now let's start drawing. We'll do a stud. Let's do an example of a timber frame wall. 140 by 38. No, I'll start that again. We'll use standard timber size that you can buy from the sawmill. 145 by 45. We'll make that a rectangle. Slightly rotate it around, and we'll give that some elevation. and I shall select that, make it a component. So we need to give this definition a name. So what we'll do is we'll go 2 for the level, which is the structures. We'll then go ZZ, because it's not defined to any level yet, any ground floor, first floor level yet. And we'll then go stud, PFSTUD. Make sure you get the capitalization correct in the same way how it's written in the spreadsheet. Underscore TIM for timber, underscore TC16, which is timber class C16, and we'll press create. We could also give that a colour if we wanted. I think we shall. Sorry. In materials, we'll give it a nice pastel yellow. That'll be fine. And what we'll do is we will copy that and rotate it round. I'm not going to show all of the information that you need that we had in the previous videos. I'm going to assume you've already watched my previous videos. So I've duplicated the same object. One is going to be a stud, one will be a bottom rail. I'll select the one that can become a bottom rail, right click, make it unique. We then need to change this. So we'll go up to our dynamic components. If you don't know where that is, right click and we'll go dynamic components. I can then dock that somewhere sensible. And we'll select the bottom rail, go into that name, we'll change that. It's no longer a stud. That's going to become TF rail. So timber frame rail, RAIL, and yes, it is C16, and it is timber, so that's all correct. And we move that up 2 meters, 400. In actual fact, I'll bring it down 45, and that should mean if I do a tape measure, top to bottom, it's 2.4. That's absolutely perfect. I'll go in here, get a shot of that just now, use my tape measure, double check that I've got my line here correct, 1 meter 200. The reason why I am using these exact sizes is because that's the sizes of my sheets come in. My sheets come in those sizes. And I'm trying to draw an off-site manufacturer panel, and then what we'll do is we'll copy that along to the very end, and then as expected I want another one of these but flat bang in the middle. Right, if I select all of these are the 3 studs. I now need to give them an IFC classification. So I've got with them selected, I can go in here. I'm going to use this simplified data set, and these will all be IFC column. I select the top rail and the bottom rail at the same time, and we'll classify those. IFC, we'll call them member, because we're only using the simplified data set. So you can see they're all classified as columns, and these are classified as members. Now, if I now want to create the OSB, oriented strand board, I'll go with a nice 10mm OSB, so go 10mm, and nice and light, doesn't need to be too heavy. And I'm going to select all of, I'll give it some height first of all, then I'll select it. Right click, make component, 2 underscore ZZ underscore EF sheet underscore OSB underscore OSB 0.10 for 10mm, and press create. Also give that a colour as well. Let's find a suitable colour for this. A nice orangey might be appropriate. And we'll give this the height. There we are. And we now have an OSB sheet. Now, we also have to give that an IFC classification. Everything we manufacture here or create has to have an IFC classification. We'll also call that IFC member for just now. And now we want some insulation in here. So we'll go, it's quick and easy, use that. Snap, snap, give it some height. Select it, right click, make component, 2 underscore ZZ underscore yes. What am I going to call this? Well, what did we call it? Let's have a look. I see other people on the spreadsheet just now as we speak. Sorry, here. Put insulation in here. And that would be 12. And then it would be ZZ. Then it would be wall type. Yeah, that's insulation. Yeah, I can't change that now because somebody else has defined it. So what we want to do is when we define these names, we want them to be quite short names, not the full word. Insulation wall, it's not. Fair enough. Material. Right, good, got it sorted. Right, so we're going here. We'll type that is 12 underscore ZZ insulation underscore wood WFINS create. Give it a colour, pale green, And I would also edit that and make it a bit more transparent so we can see through it a bit. And we'll give it some height. This is like a wood fibre insulation product. And we'll just duplicate that over. And then we'll put plasterboard on now perhaps. Say a 15mm plasterboard. And we'll just select that just now. Right click, make component. We'll go to underscore ZZ underscore timber frame TF sheet. And do we have a material? Let's have a look. PB, plasterboard, PB underscore and PB PB150 for 15mm. Create, that can remain white. Select it and we'll pull it up to height. We're not quite finished yet. So we now have a panel drawn. It's still just individual components and none of them are on particular tags or layers yet. So we'll fix that just now. So we'll go to the outside. We'll select the object. We'll take the name of the object, which is 2ZZ timber frame sheet OSB 10mm. Copy that. We'll ask for a new tag. We'll paste the name into that for the tag name, and we'll then say to that object, you reside in that tag. We'll then hide that tag just now, and we'll then select, say, the installation. Do the same thing. We'll select the name, copy. We'll go here, new tag, and we'll paste that in. Select both the sheets of installation, and we'll tell them you're on that tag, and we'll hide that tag. Then we'll select a piece of stud, copy that, new tag, paste it, select all of the studs, and we'll tell them that they reside on that tag. Hide it. One of the rails, top rail on this occasion. Oh, so let's double check. Let's fix that. Let's fix the name. I'll make unique. RAIL. That's better. I'll replace that bottom one. That'd be just fixing a mistake that I had. So select the name first of all. Get a new tag. Save the name. And put that onto that tag. Do the same thing, hide it. The last one, plasterboard. Select the name. And do exactly the same thing. You can now see the entire panel has all been classified, named properly, and put onto the appropriate tags, but it's still just individual components. What we now want to do is to give that panel, to make it a component in its own right. So we'll select the entirety of the panel, then right click, make component, we'll call it 2, we'll call it underscore, it's still ZZ, this could be first floor, second floor, could be anywhere at the moment, ZZ underscore wall, WALL, underscore, yeah, then we just define it as north, no you don't, just underscore wall, panel, PF, PANLE, create. You can then make a wall up of multiples of the exact same panel size. And then the same thing, you can then select the entirety of that, make component 2 underscore ground floor for this example, wall underscore north, south, east, west, north underscore 001. So it's panel number, wall number 1 on the north elevation. So that concludes that recap of what you missed last week. Thank you very much.